right? They started enslaving them, burning them to death in Odessa, in a union building. Started attacking them and killing them on massive Mariupol, right? So Putin armed them. He gave them guns. Even Jesus said at the Last Supper, sell your cloak to buy a sword. Every human being on this planet has a right to self-defence, and that's all they were doing in the Donbass.
Jesus said that at the Last Supper.
Sell your cloak. That's why we had the Bill of Rights in 1688 that says you have the right to bear arms if you're a Protestant. That's why in 1776, that's how it was interpreted. That's why in the 1776 Bill of Rights they wanted the rights of Englishmen, and they took it a step further. All men have the right to bear arms. There was a bit of a discrepancy here because black people were slaves, but eventually they had a civil war, and now black people in America can bear arms. Not just because in England it was only Protestants. So yeah, everyone has the right to bear arms. All Putin was doing was giving them the right to defend themselves.
Would you not say the Ukrainians have the right to defend themselves?
How can they defend themselves?
In 2014 during the Maidan revolution.
Right, that's what they've done. We had a democratically elected government under Viktor Yanukovych. He done a deal with Barack Obama, who said, I will have elections, this is round about February, shut up you, round about, because you know fuck all. In October, round September or October, we'll have elections. And Obama said, please don't set the armed military police onto those students that are demonstrating. So Viktor Yanukovych, because they didn't want to, because they could have killed them all. Viktor Yanukovych could have stopped it. But Obama said, please don't do it, right? We'll have a general election in September or October of 2014. And Viktor Yanukovych said, okay. And he went away, and he went to Kharkiv, which was, because that is a Russian-speaking city, as you know, and that was where his home ground was. As soon as that happened, they poured out the buildings, took the government buildings over, took the TV stations over, and Obama recognised them straight away as an independent state. It was a coup d'etat against the democratically elected Viktor Yanukovych, and Obama betrayed Viktor Yanukovych because he's a scumbag, right? And there it was. So at that point, where's the right of self-defence? They was actually going on the attack and destroying the democratically elected government. And Obama, because he's a globalist slooge, recognised it. So this man is not, he's pretending he's Russian, but he's the Russian speakers in Ukraine, they had their language banned. They had their religion of the Orthodox Ukrainian Church, no, the Russian Orthodox Church, and then the Ukrainians from the Ukrainian Orthodox Church that agreed with the Russian Orthodox Church, they was all banned. Both the Russian Orthodox Church and the Ukrainian Orthodox Church was banned by Zelensky. The man is a psychopath, and he's now lying. He pushes lies that Ukraine's winning the war every day when they're losing it every day. They've lost 2.5 million men. Probably the Russians have only lost 200. Shut your mouth. Fucking shut your mouth. You know you're not welcome here. Fuck off.
I don't mind, but get your facts right.
These young girls, they come to Speaker's Corner. This is what we call our home of free speech. So forgive my strong language, but I have the right. Oh, all right, girls. Well, we're pleased to have you here. So this is where we have our free speech in English. So I'm talking to a Ukrainian here, and he's going along with the propaganda. Do you want to ask a question, young lady? What am I talking about? Well, I've got my Russian flag. You as Poles don't really like the Russians, but you've got a lot of Ukrainians in your country, right? And they're Ponsin, sorry, I can't use the word Ponsin. They're taking all the benefits off of Poland, right? Come a bit closer, I can't hear you. Speak to my camera.
There's some kind Ukrainians.
Are they kind?
No, kind Ukrainians. Yeah.
They're friendly.
Yeah.
Right, well, I'm really pleased that you get on with them. And you know what? I actually do believe that the Ukrainians need asylum because the guy who's in charge of their country, Zelensky, is dragging men out and he's forcing them to go in the army, and they don't want to go, and the only people that can defend them are the women, because if the men try to stop it, they grab the men as well and put them in the army, and they're all dying. They're calling it the meat grinder, and if you fight the Russians, and you as Poles know what the Russians are like, if you keep poking the Russian bear, it will bite your head off. So you're doing a good job keeping those Ukrainians from dying. One day they can go home to hopefully a country and they can be free again. But they're not going to be free while you've got these leaders in Ukraine that want to create, that are destroying Ukraine and killing all the men in Ukraine. All right?
Excellent.
Thank you. Anyone else want to ask some questions? Thank you very much for asking a great question and listening. Very much appreciated.
Yes.
Do you believe Ukraine?
They can learn from that. Yeah.
Do you believe Ukraine should exist as a separate state to Russia?
I believe that there was always three Russias, because the Tsars are all the Russias, and there's Belarus, there's Russia, and there's Little Rus. And Ukraine has always been mostly, unless until the Poles and the Lithuanians incorporated it, but they asked to go back to Mother Russia. They sent a letter to the Tsar back in the 17th century. Please take us back in. The Poles and
about the Cossacks.
I'm talking about the Poles and the Lithuanian Empire, and they wanted to go back into Mother Russia, and they did go back into Mother Russia. Putin read it all out. He's got the archives in the Kremlin.
What year was this?
I just said to you in the 17th century. Right, so what I'm saying to you is, for most of it, look, the first capital of the Rus, which was short for Russia, was in Kiev.
Yeah, but it's Kievska Rus, not Russian Rus or something like this.
Well, how can it not be Russian if it was the first capital of Russia?
Kievska Rus is not Russian.
So you're a Ukrainian?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm afraid you've been propagated by Ukrainian propaganda. Do you speak that fake language?
It's so very interesting.
British people.
Yeah.
Do you speak Russian or Ukrainian yourself?
No, I'm an Englishman.
So how do you know this fake language?
Oh, because we've all been told he's not Volodymyr, he's Vladimir. It's all rubbish. It's like the Americans invented the Webster Dictionary. Right, let me answer his question. The Americans invented the Webster Dictionary, and they changed the words just to make it look they're different. They're not. They speak English, and they've messed about with the English language. It's wrong. Right? They should spell words like we do. Like when they call defence, they put an S on it, and we put an C on it.
You don't want to
go on, ask a question.
You don't want to go and fight for Ukraine, do you?
No. Would you want to go in the meat grinder?
I want to say, what do you think about, okay, Ukrainian is not real language, but what do you think about that Ukrainian more similar to old Slavic language than Russian? And that Ukrainian, Belarus, other...
Do you want to go and fight?
Not really.
No, right, so you've got asylum, and you know what? I don't really agree with asylum seekers, but in your case, I want you to stay here, right? Because I don't want to see any more Ukrainians get killed. Ukraine's finished as a country. Why Zelensky's still there? Because it's all about the shekels. It's all about the shekels.
If Russia will continue fighting, I believe.
Well, you know what? Putin is
The
offered...
reason you're fighting is because we're sending loads of our fucking money to go to Zelensky and co, use as fucking weapons against the Russians, and steal the money back to Switzerland.
And we'll use it as an experiment to test out the weapons.
It's not okay, I agree with you.
With weapons,
but in
without
any
money, there
war,
wouldn't be a
in
war.
any
Do you
war,
agree that the CIA created the coup d'etat in Maidan in 2014?
I'm not sure what to
It
speak
was
about.
the CIA. Victoria Nuland was there. She made a phone call, and they was going to put, what's his name, the boxer, the mayor of Kiev? Klitschko. And she said, no, we won't have Klitschko. They was deciding who the next president was going to be. Victoria Nuland, linked to the CIA. It was a CIA coup d'etat. Right, on that
That's
point,
a good education.
and we got, and I'm giving a Ukrainian an education about his own country. Right, does anyone else want to ask questions? Oh, go on then. Where are you from? Come closer to my phone. Speak loudly.
Okay, so you're telling that the Ukrainians are dying and you don't want that, but you want Ukraine to give their country to Russia.
No. At the beginning, Putin said, right, all we want is neutrality for Ukraine, and we want the Donbass to be ruled by the Ukrainians, right? As long as you guarantee they can have their religion, they can have their right to speak Russian in the workplace and in general when they go shopping, and then you promise not to join NATO, because NATO was like Poland, like all the countries in the Warsaw Pact. They were all part of the old Soviet Union. and they promised that they would not move NATO 1 inch eastwards if Gorbachev allowed the two Germanys to unite when the Soviet Union collapsed. And eventually Gorbachev agreed. But as soon as George Herbert Walker Bush, the president, went away and they brought in Clinton, they started incorporating all the ex-Warsaw Pact countries into NATO and the European Union. And Putin came to power and he said, you promised you wouldn't do that. And they kept telling him to shut up. And they got Poland in, and Bulgaria in, and Romania. And he protested again. They said, shut up, you're weak, you're not strong anymore. And they said, the next country is Ukraine. And at that point he said, no, we won't allow that, because that's part of old Russia. So that's why he attacked. They didn't want to break Ukraine up. They was happy that Ukraine was independent, but the West won't let them keep it.
As long as you do as I say, yeah?
All right? I'm sorry to be a bit tough on you, but you asked a powerful question. I'll give you a powerful answer.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. You want to come a bit closer?
No, it's all
Because the camera can't hear you. He's not looking at you.
It goes much further than that. NATO is about breaking up Russia.
Yes.
There's an intention to break up Russia
And steal the commodities.
into small little countries so that America can then just run riot over all those small countries, divide and conquer. That's the whole plan.
You do know that Russia has 1/3 of the world's commodities.
I do.
And that's what they want. The West
Good
has
luck
gone
to you,
bankrupt.
mate.
Thank you very much. The West has gone bankrupt. We've lost the economic war against China. Every Western country is going to collapse economically sooner or later.
say that for years,
right?
though.
No, sooner or later. So the only answer now is to destroy Russia, break it up like that gentleman said, and seize all the commodities of 1/3 of the world's commodities to save Europe, to save the Zionist Anglosphere, so it can prosper again. It's absolutely evil. And as an Englishman, I'm sick and tired of it. Any more questions before I go?
Time at the bar.
Right, what I will say is, there is no right and left in politics. There is only right and wrong. There is no right and left. There's only right and wrong. Thank you very much, everyone. Good to show you.